What's up, Libra? Welcome to your December 2020 general reading. I can't believe it's the end of the year already. I can't believe it. It's crazy. Um, Hi, welcome. This is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Okay, if it doesn't resonate, absolutely go check out your other placements because it's not going to hit home for everybody. But this is a beautiful reading, so I hope that it resonates with the bulk of us. And I knew it was going to be a really good reading when I started because I listen to music when I'm doing my pre-shuffles and my meditating and stuff, and I'm listening to my playlist, and Bell comes on. If you guys don't know who she is a fellow Libra queen that you need to go support and listen to. I doubly love her because she's from where I'm from, from the Bay to Sac to LA. So she's a Northern California girl. She's a fellow Libra. She's an amazing artist. Go check out her music, Bell. Anyways, her song, I Think That I Love You came on, and anyways, I love her, and I was like, damn, this came on. I knew it was going to be a really good reading, and sure enough, it really, really is. So it's really, really interesting because this month a lot of stuff is happening. We know that this year has been a doozy. This is really the tying up the loose ends. I'm excited to be here in Sagittarius season because we should start to feel a lot lighter. You know, Scorpio season is very heavy for a lot of people. It's very much the underworld. It's the very deep rooted stuff that we don't always like to get into. It can be very revealing of people and situations and motives and feelings. It could just be a really intense energy to deal with, right? Especially if you've got a lot going on. And Sagittarius kind of comes through to break it up. So I really enjoy that because if y'all know any Sagittariuses, they're fun, they're spunky, they're super like impulsive, but it's a good time. They're always honest. At least that's been my experience. I've always been pretty connected to Sagittariuses. I've dated Sagittariuses. I've been really close friends with Sagittariuses. And one thing I can say about them is I've always known where I stood with a Sagittarius. So coming to my next point, this is going to be a month where if there have been things that have been on your mind, right? Because we've been super in our feelings. We just came out of Scorpio season, and we're going into Sag. And with that, Mercury and Venus is in Sag. Well, Venus is in Sag now, I believe, but Mercury will be going into Sag mid-month. So if there's been anything that's been on your mind, you've been having a hard time expressing, I've been telling all the other signs this too, like it will be easier to have those more honest, candid conversations in a way that you feel like you're getting your point across effectively and you feel like the person on the receiving end is able to hear you, right? As we come into this. So that's really, really good. For us specifically, because we are Libras, this is very much a season that is tapped into our third house. Third house is connected to Gemini energy, but it's really all about communication, right? It's about the way we communicate, the way we process. Has a lot to do with siblings too. So there might be emphasis on situations in your family at this time, but a lot about how we communicate, how we think, that type of thing. It's Gemini shit, right? We are going to be having a new moon, solar eclipse in Sag on the 14th. So that's something to look into. The 15th is when that shift of Mercury is going to be going into Sag. So that's going to be really, really good. Like I said, for communication. We are going to be having a full moon in Cancer at the end of the month, which will be in Capricorn season, but it's still in December. So we talk about it. It's on the 29th. So expect that to be probably an emotional one because it's in Cancer. But before that, what everyone's been talking about lately is this December 21st business, right? This huge conjunction. It's a conjunction that happens every 20 years with Saturn and Pluto. And it's a big deal, right? For the last 200 years, it's always happened in an earth sign, right? So that's always been based around material possessions, money, government, business, the tangible things, the money things. And this year, for the first time in 200 years, it's going to be in Aquarius at 0 degrees, right? 0 degrees is great because that means that we've got infinite possibilities. This is literally a jumping off point to like all type of things. Um, I almost said jumping off point to start negotiations because I watched Clueless way too much growing up. All right. Yeah, so it's a jumping off point, right? It's a really good time for endless possibilities. Um, and since things were always very much rooted in material things, now this conjunction happening in Aquarius is actually going to flip the script a little bit, and it's going to be more about community and like more of that humanitarian energy, more about tech. And that's really, really a beautiful thing. A lot of astrologers are saying this is really kind of like the gateway and like the beginning of entering into that age of Aquarius. So where some people are predicting, oh, it's the end of the world, da, 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 no, but I do think it's the end of the world as we know it, which is not bad, to be honest. So there's a lot going on this month, really, really powerful, really, really tying up all of 2020. Of course, we're going to still be going through some of the things that we're going through right now, COVID, quarantining, duh. But this is going to open up things in, I think, a very different way. For us, it's going to have a lot to do with how we think. Like I said, third house energy. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Ace of Swords. So Ace of Swords is all about either new information coming to you. This is about communication. This is about truth, right? When the sword is up, we're standing in truth. Right? When it's down, that might be a little bit of something else, but it's about clarity. And like I said, this third house energy for us, it is going to have to do a lot with how we think. And I think a lot of how we think is going to be changing. What does that mean? It could be changing in terms of commitments, like relationships, what you think about the relationship you're currently in, what you think about dating in general, what you think about your place in a relationship. Maybe you're someone who always wanted to get married and now maybe you're coming to a point of like, yo, that's really unnecessary. I don't think I'll ever get married. Whatever. It could have to do with your thoughts in your work, right? That full moon that's happening in Cancer is going to be hitting our 10th house. So there's going to be a lot of shifts and having to do with the success in our careers, our public image. And I think it's going to be really, really good. We got really good cards out, which, whew, thank you, Lord, because look, Libra life can be fabulous, but it's not always easy. So that's really, really good. Now, we start out with the Sun card, 7 of Swords, and Queen of Pentacles. For some of you, this Sun card represents exposure, right? Whenever we get the Moon card, things are a little bit unknown. It's a very mysterious energy. We might not have the full truth about something, but whenever we get the Sun card, things are absolutely positively clear. You know, we see all things in the light, right? The Sun card is the happiest card of the deck. It's all about passion and family and success and victory and moving forward. It could be about children, family, that type of thing. But see how they're on the other side of the brick wall? This is about like overcoming some major hurdles too, right? So it wouldn't be surprising to me if for a lot of Libras, maybe some things were exposed and maybe it wasn't like a super secret, but maybe it's like this even just coming to certain epiphanies or like, you know what, I understand this clearly now. I understand why this happened. I understand why we didn't work out. I understand why whatever, fill in the blank, right? And what that does is it opens things up, right? I do want to say Libras, especially with the way that we think we are air signs, right? Our mind is a powerful tool, but can also be a powerful and fucked up weapon, right? When we get into that like analysis paralysis state, if you're a Libra and you're not successful, it really only has everything to do with the way that you think about yourself and what you think you deserve and what you think you can achieve, right? We're like the best friends to have because we're a good best friend, right? We beef up our friends. We you know, yeah, girl, fuck it up. Like, we're so good for that, you know, whether it's our family members, our friends, whatever, even if it's a perfect stranger, like, we're super encouraging. We're natural cheerleaders, but we're not always like that with ourselves. And so I think this is a point in time where Libra's like, yo, all this good energy that I be giving other people, all these relationships that didn't work out for me because really it just didn't work out. But what they loved about me was the fact that I can make them feel good. I could do that for myself, right? There's been a lot that's come to the awareness of Libras, and it's really, really good. And it's caused you to kind of weigh out what you value. 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles, obviously 2s are all about decisions and stuff, but talk about Pentacles. Pentacles is money, yes, but it's what we value. And for a lot of Libras, there have been situations that have come up that really had to make you sit and think like, yo, do I even care about this enough to argue about this? Do I care enough about this to continue to pursue this? Does this thing value me back? Like, there's been a lot of exposure in terms of what we value, and really kind of like pulling off the covers of like certain things that you're just used to doing, right? But not knowing why you're doing them, like where it's coming from. Like, I'm trying to, like, me personally, I'm trying to be way more intentional about, like, if I do things, what place is it coming from? Is it coming from a place of obligation, or is it coming from a place of me wanting to? Because the energy behind it is completely different. You know what I mean? So, and it's the same with a lot of Libras, right? Now, the Seven of Swords is interesting. I think there's a lot of strategy going on. Of course, this could be about you know, someone who around you who may be a trickster, and maybe this Seven of Swords running into this sun the way it is, maybe this is an indication of certain things coming to the light. Maybe someone tried to play you and you found out something about them. I wouldn't be surprised. But what I know for certain is it's gotten Libra on the ball to do some serious strategic planning for what we want to do, right? In ways that are going to benefit us, for our better good, for our business, for our success, for our health, whatever it is, right? Devil card, Six of Pentacles. There could have been a situation where you feel like you were giving way more to the situation than they were giving to you. If that's the case, I feel like that's getting cut out. Whether it's attention, time, love, whatever it is. Libra, look, we're tired. And if there's any area I feel like if you're lacking or people are lacking and not really kind of stepping up to the plate, because look, let's be honest, Libras really don't require much. If there's any of that going on, it's almost like this is a time where you're either saying how you feel and making it very apparent like, yo, this needs to change, or there's also no problem with cutting things out. I feel like Libra could really take it anyway, because what I definitely feel from Libra is that they're just done with dumb shit. Libra gives people so many passes because we like people and we don't like to feel a way about a person, especially if it's a person that we've already, you know, invested so much time into or care into. It really sucks to like change your mind and be like, you know what, never mind, fuck that bitch. We don't want to feel that way about anybody. So it's almost like instead of things going super south, because no matter what people want to say, Libras are savages at the end of the day. Yeah, we try to keep it cute for as long as we possibly can. But then once it's done, once I'm tired, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired, right? And so it just feels like instead of doing all the arguing and the extra things, Libras just kind of like, no, I could just take my things and go. Really, the focus isn't other people for the first time. The focus is yourself. And if it's not yourself, it needs to be. Even if you are in a relationship, you can be independent in that way in a relationship. The focus is the bag. The focus is the home. The focus is the children, the security, right? And the overall growth. The overall growth. Libra is, for the first time in a long time, literally focusing on Libra. And if you're here for the show and you want to support and you want to whatever, cool, you could be here. But if you are in any way trying to take me away from what I'm trying to do, I don't have time for it. If money has been an issue, Libra, we're looking at a change. The Magician, the Queen of Pentacles. I actually think this conjunction, like this going, you know, in Aquarius, and with things going to the age of Aquarius the way it is, being a fellow air sign, this is actually really, really good for us. I think we're going to feel like we're very, very comfortable, you know, in this new shift. I think there's going to be a lot of information coming to a lot of Libras very, very quickly, but it takes your decision, right? And where that starts is looking at what's in your life and looking at what exactly you value. Looking at things from a perspective of, is this what I want, or is this what I think I should be doing? Oh, okay, I want this. Well, now I have to work on my belief that I deserve to have it, right? You got the power, Libra. This month, you got the power. There's a lot pushing you forward, especially as it pertains to your career and to your money. And you'll see that especially towards the end of the month when we're hitting that full moon in Cancer. So I quite like this because this really gears you up for Capricorn season, which I feel so bad I told Capricorn. I hate Capricorn season. It's just too adultish. Too many rules, too many responsibilities. I'm stressed after the holidays trying to get your money back that you already spent. You know, oof, I hate Capricorn season. But this feels very different, right? And I think the main part of that is because a lot of Libras are finally putting focus back into themselves rather than in other people. Now, in the environment Libra, I love this. We got the Empress card, which talks about Libra or Taurus energy, but what it talks about is, I don't know, I just kind of feel like that endless possibilities again, right? Because the Empress, she's pregnant, right? She's pregnant with either a physical child, she's pregnant with ideas, but this is someone who she doesn't chase things, she attracts them. Now with the Magician and the Empress, this is really, really beautiful. This is like, because to me, the Empress is always like the earth baby. Like if the Magician and the High Priestess had an earth baby, they would have an Empress, right? Because she is so powerful and she is able to create, and everything that she touches really does turn to gold. She attracts things to her and she can have whatever she wants, but there's still, there's two parts of that make that of her, right? There's that spiritual divine feminine, and then there's that actual doing of the divine masculine. And, whether this is an actual person that's in front of you that is here to nurture you and offer security, wants to build with you, or whether it's you coming up on these beautiful opportunities, they're coming in this month. They're definitely coming in this month. Ace of Wands. To me, for a lot of you guys, this feels like an exciting new work venture. Even if it's not exciting new work, like let's say you're not completely changing your career, changing your job. This is about incorporating new things to make it fresh, to make it new, to almost make it feel, make it feel new. And for some of you guys, this might require dropping certain things. So let's say you have a business and let's say you've been going about scheduling or payment or something a certain way. Maybe if that's getting to be too much, maybe incorporating something to help that load, something like that. But whatever this is an opportunity that's definitely going to make your life easier. I feel like you guys are coming into money opportunities, and that might just be that. So for Libras who have been maybe strapped for money, maybe this new exciting thing because you're so passionate about it. And Libras, we get bored, right? We want to do things that we like to do. We don't want to fucking do things just because the world says we have to. Like, no, okay, I'll have a job, but like, can I like my job? Can I want to be here? So whatever this newness is, whatever this thing that is here and that's wanting to come, because we got Ace of Wands. So this is potential. Aces are potential. They're beginnings. This is something that is able to grow to where, Libra, you're going to be sitting up like her, sitting up like the Empress. Like, yep, fetch me my grapes, please, right? This really puts you in a good spot, but you need to believe that you deserve it, right? So that you can have it. Like I said, I truly believe if there's a Libra who's in a bad way, and with most people, but with us especially, it's because there's something with our mind that we need to kind of exercise, you know what I mean? To just vibrate a touch higher when we're talking about ourselves, because we have it in us for everybody else, right? Now, Death, Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is next. This is what's sitting in your wants, your hopes and wants and all that. And I just, I think Libra just want to be happy, but I do think that there's this difference. Like, I think Libra thought of being happy and like an idea of family in one certain way. But I think with this month, like your eyes are going to open up and you'll be more open to other things, understanding that like if you are a single mom, you and your kid, that is a family. That is like, you can still have happiness, that type of thing, or something. For some of you guys, this is like a whole new chance for like to revive a situation, right? It's funny because the Ten of Cups oftentimes talks about family, but I don't see family. It's funny, I don't see family in the traditional way in my mind, like with this read. And even with this card, this is not a traditional family, right? This is two women, right? Who have a kid, who have kids. Well, a kid, I don't know. It's two women. So there's something that's not traditional. And so for a lot of you guys, I think that you might be changing the way that you think, even as it pertains to what you want out of life, what happiness means to you, what a home looks like to you, what family looks like to you. There may be some change in that because, and like death to something that you've been holding on to. This could even come from pressures of like other people who love you, like, you know, your parents who want you to hurry up and find someone to get married. And maybe that's just not what you're thinking about, right? There's something that's dying away so that you can actually find your absolute happiness. And for some of you guys, this is a relationship that didn't work out. But the death of that relationship, like, literally makes room for one that you're supposed to be in, that you're supposed to have. But you need to have that trust. You need to believe that you deserve it, right? Because there's something that's dying away. It's almost like there's something that did die. For some of you guys, I feel like you're already there. Like, you're understanding why certain things didn't work out. And it's because it wasn't supposed to, because that wasn't really what would make you happy. That was really more you doing what you felt you needed to do in the name of whatever. Right? And then the Nine of Pentacles is the last card here, which we love. This is a single ladies card. This is someone who is independent. Even if they're in a relationship, they're self-sufficient. This is someone who doesn't have that codependency issue, right? Ooh, look at it, right? As I'm talking about Nine of Pentacles at the bottom here. Yeah, this is someone who they don't depend on other people liking them. They don't depend on other people's money. They don't depend on other approval. She takes good care of herself. She's surrounded by lush gardens. She grows her own fruits and vegetables. Sis is, you know, doing just fine. Her and her bird, right? And her coins. Every move that you're making right now, Leo, stop it. Every move that you're making right now, Libra, you're doing it for you, and that's the best thing you could possibly do. Even if there's a relationship that you want, the best thing you could do is do for you, and then that's what brings it in. That's the crazy thing, right? And look at that Nine of Pentacles actually came out. So Nine of Pentacles, clarifying Nine of Pentacles. This month isn't really about anybody but you. This month really isn't about getting anything together but you. This month is about figuring out what it is you want to do, being very, very clear, organizing, gearing up for it, going hard in the paint on what you want, right? And being open to the endless possibilities, because I feel like when you do that, these possibilities are going to start rolling in. But it all starts first with your thinking, which this is going to be altered a bit in the best way possible. I think that Libras are going to be, not that we're not open-minded, we're actually quite open-minded, but usually even that comes with other people. Like, you could be open-minded with them, but, oh, she could do what she want to do over there, but no, I'm not, that kind of thing. So this is a really, really powerful month of transformation for Libra and everybody, but Libra for sure. Now, you got Feather. Think first before you judge. Think first before you judge. We don't like to think of ourselves as judgmental people, but we are. I think we're judgmental in a nice way, so it doesn't feel like we are, but we are. We all are. All humans are, to a certain extent. Libra does it in the way of, ooh, I wouldn't be doing that. Girl, couldn't be me, but all right. It's the same thing. It's still passing some type of a judgment. So this is really about having tunnel vision and what you need to do, keeping your mind clear of other people's things, and really even judgment on yourself, right? Because I think we're the hardest critics. Like, we're our own hardest critics. So even if something's not working out right, even if you're feeling bad about something, even if you're having a moment where you're upset with someone, don't be so quick to judge, because you just can't. I think we'll try to rationalize things to make it make sense for us, for our comfort, but you just can't, right? It's about being light as a feather, stiff as a board, honey, right? And, it's a bunch of homegirls. It looks like a little coven here. This might be a good time to, like, when you're feeling a little low or feeling a little lonely, talk to your friends, right? 26 is an important number to you. That's also represented here on the card. So there we go. We also got, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. I love that, because it makes me feel like that just goes so in line with this Ace of Swords. Thank you for expanding my perceptions. I think that's what this month really, really brings for Libras. So that's beautiful. But understand, like, give yourself a pat on the back because it is here, though, because you are one of the Libras that is doing their individual work, right? Look, it right underneath the Ace of Swords is the Magician. I didn't even notice that. So yeah, Magician twice. That's beautiful. Also, Libra, we got Organized for Success, which says, do not let the word organize intimidate you, as it is simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organizing your thoughts, your reports, your living and workspace, and your finances will help you know and plan your next action steps, right? So don't be intimidated by the word organize. Organize. I think right now we're in a place where none of us really know what's going to happen with this huge shift going on. So definitely organize, plan certain things, but also be flexible enough to pivot if you need to, if those plans don't work out the way you thought. Now, trust also popped up in terms of love. It says the situation is calling for you to have faith. Yeah. Yeah. Especially for you Libras that are single. And I think that's kind of where a lot of Libras are already at. They're just like, okay. Like, because there's been a couple months where Libra was just kind of stuck on somebody. And I think this is the month where you're like, okay, someone else is coming. They always do. In the meantime, I'm just going to focus on what I can control. And I'm just going to leave that relationship stuff up to the universe and let that be that. So, yeah. I think this is actually a really, really good reading, Libra. Expect some money coming in. Expect some opportunities. Expect to feel way better in your skin. Expect to feel more powerful, more independent. Talk about the things you need to talk about. You might want to wait a little while, though. I've been telling everybody this just because Mercury and Scorpio could be a little difficult for people. My Mercury's in Scorpio. Trust me, people have a hard time sometimes. So yeah, that's it. This is going to be a good one. I'll see you guys next year. Bye, Libra.